Hi there, it's Shell. For the weekend, I just saw that this says weekend crafts on it, but I wanted to take a little bit of break from our pocket series and just kind of dress up one of these. Now my idea is to have a sample book, and I thought this might be the best way. So in here I would store my paper clips that I make, my pockets that I make. If I see an idea on YouTube that one of my friends has done or something, then I might make up a quick sample and stick in this book. So I picked this up at the thrift store. You might have seen it in my last haul for $1, so that's pretty good. There wasn't tons of things in there, but I did have all of the dividers, or a big group of dividers that I thought I could cover with a decorative paper or coffee dyed paper. Whatever I wanted to do, I could change the the subject on the tab and kind of make it more of a sample book. And as it has so much room in here, then I can just pop in pages. So I just thought I'd bring you guys along as I start working on this. So there is a glossy finish, and I was watching Shawcraft 1, and her name is Diane Shaw, and she's a really sweet lady, but she will take these and she'll paint them. And I believe the first thing she does is use some clear or some gesso. The one I saw on hers was a white gesso, but I only have clear. So what this is going to do is going to put a tooth. So instead of like my paint chipping off, like if I was to scratch it, if I just painted directly on this and scratched it, the paint would come off. But this is going to kind of allow the paint to seal onto the cover, especially since it's a shiny cover. That's kind of gross. So I'll find this on Amazon, and I will link it below if you are interested in any of the products that I use. I'm just using a sponge brush. It's really nice and big, and it doesn't have to be perfect or anything. Mainly I'm just kind of covering it. When you cover it, it kind of feels like a little bit of a sandpaper, which is what you want. And then it's going to attach to that paint that I stick on here. And we'll have a pretty cover. I thought about gluing, some paper or something on here, but then I happened to remember Diane's, and I'll put a link to her channel below. She does a few of these I've seen, and she just paints them, then she kind of collages on them. And I was thinking, this is a sample book, so I kind of wanted the cover to reflect that. So I'm thinking about putting some material on here, maybe some lace, kind of like a patchwork type thing. I thought that would be kind of cute. And I couldn't pass this up when I saw it, because I also have another idea for another one of these binders. So I did pick up 2 recently, and I have a few in my stash. I kind of pick them up as I find them. So that looks pretty good. I can kind of see where my brush strokes are. I don't know if you guys can see that, but since it's clear, it's probably hard to see online. Okay. And I'm just going around the edges, just, so that if there's any, when I paint it, it'll stay pretty well as well. And then I'm going to remove this. I'm going to let it dry, and then we're going to start working on the inserts. So I'm going to go put this away so the cats can't get to it, and I'll be right back. Okay, so that is drying in the kitchen on the cabinet, and all the cats are asleep. So nice. So one thing I was thinking about this is I kind of want to use up some papers maybe that I have been hoarding, or you know, I have a part or a piece of it that might not work. So I wanted to go ahead and cover these. I really love this paper pad, and I thought that would be fun to use up, you know, the rest of this. So I'm going to go ahead and use that. Some of this other paper I might have to kind of piece them together on the dividers. So I just thought we would kind of have a craft with me and just kind of, you know, just kind of have fun and see what we can come up with. Okay, so this is one that I had, and you know, it's not the best paper. It's kind of wrinkled and stuff, but I thought I could make it work for this. Now, one thing I did, I'm going to set these aside, is I pulled out my ATG gun. These are really nice, and I'll show you why I pulled this out. I will put a link below on Amazon if I can find one. If you're really lucky, you can pick these up at yard sales. In fact, I had been talking about one, and my husband picked up the gun in the free yard sale area. So I got mine for free, and they are really pricey. So, you know, look for things like this at yard sales. The refills are not that expensive, and it goes a long way. So, you know, I thought maybe I could cut down my pages, my papers, but I think the easiest thing to do would just be to glue them down, because they fit pretty well on a 12 by 12 sheet of paper. And then I just have my large scissors, and we're just going to cut around it. So one thing I was thinking is I'm going to use my art glitter glue, and I'm just going to go around the edges with my art glitter glue, but first I'm going to use my ATG gun. And I am just going to put glue all over the front of this, you know, just here and there. It doesn't have to be perfect, but I think I'll be happier with it in the end. And it's so much easier than, you know, just using tons of wet glue, if I can make it work. And then the wet glue, I'm going to go ahead and just put, it is a shiny surface that I'm gluing on. That's one reason I wanted to use my, I just took that out, my ATG gun, because I think it would kind of hold it better maybe. And this is really good glue, the art glitter glue. And as always, I do have links below for that as well. And anywhere that I didn't put my ATG gun, which if you're not familiar with ATG gun, it's just essentially a double-sided tape that's in a gun, and it really works nice.
That's strong stuff.
It is pretty strong, yeah. So, and then I'm just going to put a little bit of glue in between my ATG, just to make sure, you know, for the most part it's all over. And that's about it. And then I'm just going to flip it over and kind of lay it on my paper. Pretty simple. Go ahead and do another one. I'm going to let this dry for just a few minutes before I cut it out and do the other side. So I have, you know, quite a few of these. You could, or I could have just left it with this color. It's not a bad color. It's kind of maroonish. But, you know, I wanted it to be pretty, and I thought, well, you know, all of my scraps are going in here, or my samples. So I really wanted it to be pretty, you know. I want to open it and enjoy what I'm seeing, you know. So again, I'm just going to do the same thing over and over. and then we'll cut a couple of them out. So let me put just a little bit here. Oops. And if you guys don't have an ATG gun, or you have one that is not that fun to put on your tape, and you'd like me to do a tutorial on how to do the tape, then let me know, because it's really not as difficult as it seems. It's kind of intimidating, but I think I figured out, you know, what I was doing wrong and stuff like that. So again, I am just putting glue all over. That way I have two types of glue. I know that this corner has a really pretty image that I want to use, so I am just going to kind of place this in the corner. Like that. And then, you know, that'll be really pretty. Let's do another one. You know, when you're out doing your yard selling and stuff like that, you know, always look how you can repurpose different items. And in fact, when I bought this, I had an idea for one, and I saw this one, I thought, well, maybe I could use it as well. And so I went ahead and picked this up, and I really did not have an idea for it. But, you know, as I was working on my paper clips series, and I was putting them in my book, the book that I put like all my addresses in, my notes for my YouTube channel, things like that, I thought, you know, I need something different to put all my samples in, because it was getting really, really full. So, you know, this is where this idea came to me. And I thought maybe I could use these folders, or the dividers, by putting, let's do this one, by putting maybe, you know, a paper clip series, or, you know, paper clips or pockets, and maybe kind of utilize the dividers. And I thought, you know, that would work really well. And with this one, just having a few of dividers and papers and such like that, I thought it would work out really well. And I like that it's a, you know, a 3-ring binder, because I can move things around in there as it gets full. You know, say, you know, next year, I'm going to give myself a lot of time, but say next year I pull out my book and it's so full, and I think, okay, now I need to just have a binder for paper clips, then I can easily remove them from here. And if you wanted to, and you didn't want to use these, you know, for a sample book per se, but you want to store your paper clips in there, you know, you could set it up, maybe put strips across, which I thought about even for my sample book, and you know, actually store some of your pieces inside that you can put in a junk journal. You know, you can always find things to do, different ideas. So I have to tell you guys, a girl named Michelle on my subscribers. Hi, Michelle. She made me laugh because she was saying, I think it was her anyways. Maybe it was one of the other girls, but I remember the name Michelle, and she made me laugh. But she said that I made her laugh because, or one of you, leave me a comment below if it was you. But anyways, one of the girls says, you made me laugh because you said you were laying in bed dreaming about pockets. And she said I needed an intervention. a junk journal intervention. And you know what? She might be right. But anyways, last night, this is like a week later from the first time, so seriously, I was laying in bed last night, and I was thinking, oh no, I'm not going to have enough ideas for, another week of pockets, because, pockets are intimidating. They're hard to come up with ideas, and a lot of my ideas I did get off Pinterest, and they're awesome. In fact, one of the ladies, she says, oh, you must have found my idea on the scrap busting, I forget what she called them. I think she called them scrappy tags or something, but she said, you must have seen my idea. And I had seen her idea, but it was on Pinterest. And I don't think I gave her, gave her credit, and I just wanted to put that out there. But, a lot of my ideas do come from Pinterest. I go through there, I don't, I just see a picture and I think, ooh, I could do that, and I don't really go into anyone's blog or anything like that. I just kind of do it my own way. So, I keep going to Pinterest and I'm thinking, oh no, I'm not going to be able to come up with 5 more pocket ideas. So, last night when I was in bed, and I was actually going to sleep, and I woke up this morning, and I have to tell Clint, my husband, hun, this is what I'm thinking about doing next, and this came to me, what do you think? And hopefully one of us will remember what it is.
I don't remember.
And he's like, I don't remember. I remember, though.
You're right.
I am going to make myself a dream journal and write my dreams down. My friend Virginia said, girl, she said, your dreams are awesome. Put a journal by the book, or by your bed. Hi, Virginia. Virginia's another one I haven't met, but we have a lot in common. So, it's funny to me how, you meet people on the internet, and I have met one of the girls. Well, I talked to her. She's just up the road, but it's about 10 miles, and I haven't made it up there yet, but it's really fun, and I promised Donna I will get up there. But, I'm loving the comments that you guys give me. Some of you just crack me up, and I suppose that's what comes around goes around, because, you tell me I crack you up, so you may as well make me laugh too. And I appreciate it, because, don't we all need laughter? So today was, what is today? Today is Friday. Oh, I was watching Miss Gayle Agostinelli, and guys, if you have not checked out her channel, be sure and check out her channel. She is one of my biggest influencers in the junk journal world. She is just amazing. But she has been doing some organization in her craft room. And, it's fun I love organization videos. And, maybe it's because I like to see what other people have. But poor Miss Gayle, man, she's got some stuff. And it's fun because you're thinking, ooh, I need that, or ooh, I have that, and, things like that. But so I was watching her, and I couldn't find something that I really needed. In fact, I needed it to mail something to her, to Miss Gayle, and my husband got in there with me, and I got over half of my room kind of gone through, and I actually brought it out and stuck it on the kitchen table. So my kitchen table's a mess, but my room's looking better. I need to get back in there and kind of, organize the stuff that I organized on the kitchen table, put it back in my room. But, I tell you, we learn from other crafters, and, I just think we do a lot, from other crafters. And I don't know where I was going with on that story. It's just, Huh? It's just a story. I don't even know where I was going. Okay, so anyways, I am just trimming around this. You know, like I said, the reason I thought this would be easiest is, yeah, you could measure and you could cut and all that, but I just think it's easier just to come back and cut using scissors, especially a nice big pair of scissors. The scissors I'm using are a non-stick scissors that I actually picked up at Joann's. So again, if I can find them on Amazon, I will link them below. They're pretty good. You know, I've never had a Tim Holtz non-stick scissors, mainly because I thought they were so expensive. And you know, I know you can get, you know, 40% off or whatever at Hobby Lobby, but I think I got 2 pairs of scissors for $10. So, you know, I don't know what that tells you. It might not be a good thing. So, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and punch my holes. And again, I am just using my Crocodile 2. And someone told me that they didn't have any problems getting this thing to work for pinching like eyelets and stuff, but man, I have so much problems. But look at that, isn't that pretty? So we're just going to go ahead and cut those out, and we'll save some of our papers. I thought these papers might be fun if we wanted to kind of use a different paper on this one for the label. So I think that'll be kind of fun to save the scraps. So yeah, there was that huge, what was it, a cyclone bomb? Were any of you guys affected by that? Wow, it was crazy. It wasn't so bad here. So, you know, some of my friends have checked on me, and it really wasn't that bad here. It was really windy, and I was wondering about the driveway, but it wasn't enough accumulation. It melted off quick enough that we didn't have any problems getting out. But when we left the house yesterday, it was so icy on the roads. And you know, I don't worry about my husband driving. He pretty much does all the driving. But you know, some of those other people on the roads, they kind of scare you. So you just never know. But man, it was bad up north. You know, I mean, roads were just closed. And Lizard Head, which is the path that we take to get to Telluride, sometimes we can go one way or another. It was, it's been closed down. You know, it's closed down until further notice for avalanche control. So definitely no going to Telluride anytime soon for us unless we go the back way. Yay! Telluride is absolutely beautiful, guys. If you ever make it to Colorado, I think it's definitely worth seeing. Because, you know, I grew up in Texas, and, you know, I was a flatlander pretty much, and I fell in love with Colorado, with the mountains. And Telluride is totally covered, surrounded by mountains, and it's absolutely gorgeous. But the people there can not be so nice, and I'm not saying all of them, but you know how it is in any community, and it's just so packed. You know, so it's just, you know, it's a beautiful area though. I mean, it is absolutely stunning. And you know, that was definitely when we would come up to visit and stuff up here, that was one of the stops we would make, is in Telluride or going beside Telluride. There's so many beautiful little towns around. But you know, when you live here and you're kind of, it's not as much excitement anymore as it used to be. So, but it is very pretty.
Well, it's not the funnest place to work.
Yeah, when you're working there, and you know, my friend Donna, her husband worked there for a while, and you know, it's so crowded. you can pretty much stick your hands, you know, go beside a house, stick your hand out and touch the house next door. I mean, it's very compact. And, you know, we're on 3 acres, so we have a lot of area that there's no houses or anything like that. So you kind of feel claustrophobic, you know, if you're not used to that. And then trying to drive around that little town and, you know, one-way streets and stuff, it can be pretty daunting. But if you ever make it to Telluride, they do have a thrift store. I didn't go last time because I didn't have time, but, and you know, mostly I think from what I could tell, they sold like clothes and stuff, nothing really papery or anything like that. But I try to always hit all of the thrift stores I can. So today, I guess this is really just like a craft with me, just kind of, hey, what I'm doing, you know, come along with me kind of thing. So hopefully maybe there'll be something to learn. I really don't know. But I do like the idea of using my scraps and just beautiful papers that I've really loved through the years. I have tons of papers. Tons of paper. I am one of those who, you know, every time I walk into a craft store, I say I'm not going to get paper, but every single time I leave, I have paper. So, I definitely love paper. So, I'm going to go ahead and punch holes. That way, when I cover the back sides of these, I can see where my holes are. So, oops. So, I hope you guys are doing well. Trying to think of something else to tell you. Oh, I have decided on what my next journal is going to be. And I thought what we would do after the pocket series, I know I had said we would do a tag series, but I think I'm going to take a break from doing tags and pick, or from doing pockets or series, I don't know. And from doing ephemera and start working on a journal, and maybe do like a farm journal start to finish, because I do want to do a little farm journal. I found some books and some fabric and stuff, and I thought that would be kind of fun to do. Okay, so, you know, I just did these in the order, and they worked out pretty well. So now I'm going to move my scraps over, and we're going to go ahead and work on the back side of these guys. Try not to make too much of a mess. The cats are still kind of snoozing. Clint's in the background crocheting. And you hear Sophia? She's talking to Daddy, and Daddy's telling her to be quiet, but she doesn't listen.
Seriously.
So I think I'm going to put this one here. I think I'll do that. And just, yeah, it's just like a nice Saturday day, even though it's here, right now it's Friday. But it's a beautiful day outside. It just looks so nice and warm, and I can't remember what the temperature is.
50.
It's 50 outside. How nice is that? But, you know, it's just a fun day to craft, and it's kind of exciting to, you know, get something done that I've had in the back of my mind for a while. And I wanted to bring you guys along, take a little break from pockets. And I'm challenging myself with the pocket series, because I really, really want to do 10 days of pockets. And it's intimidating. It really, really is. But I think I'm one day short on an idea. So you'll have to come back on Monday and follow me through. And now's a good time to remind you guys, if you have not subscribed, be sure and hit that subscribe button. and hit the bell, because I am putting up videos daily, which is crazy. A lot of people don't do that. You know, I was looking and somebody's like, we put up 2 days a week, and here I am putting up daily right now. And a lot of crafters, when they have time at home and stuff, you know, they can knock out a daily video. Right now we're home most of the time, pretty much, for another month, and then it'll probably be so busy. But I hope to still be able to get videos up for you guys on a regular basis. Okay, so got that one. I kind of like this one with, I kind of want to make sure what I have, I kind of spread out. Like maybe with, I have this one, maybe with that one. Kind of get an idea. No, let's do this one here. Let's do, ooh, I don't want to do that either. Let's do this one. That one. And this one with this one. And this one with this one. Okay, I got a plan. I don't want the same on front and back. I kind of want like a mixture. So, but I think this is working out pretty well using the ATG gun. I buy my ATG gun refills on, I believe it's called scrapbookpal.com, and I buy like 10 or so of them at one time. That way I always have them. And they're out of Utah, which isn't very far from us. So I just like to have things on hand, because you know we do live quite a way from town, and I can't just go down the street to Hobby Lobby or anything. Hobby Lobby is several hours away, a couple of hours at least. 2.5, 3. So I pretty much purchase everything online. But you know, I mean, Amazon nowadays is crazy. You can order something and it can be here like tomorrow. It just amazes me. Let's see, let's use this other side. You know how quick it is. Just, you know, sometimes we spend a couple of days thinking, do we really want to go to town? No, just order off Amazon. So it's kind of, it's such a nice thing to have. You know, we started having our cat food delivered and stuff like that. Not from Amazon, but from another company. And, you know, for people who hurt, you know, when they load up the cat food and the cat litter and stuff, to have it delivered to your back door is like phenomenal. It's just so nice. So I hope you guys don't mind these occasional craft with me's. I hope you pulled out some goodies and you're kind of crafting along. If not, I hope you are getting ideas, you know. But I think this stuff is working pretty well. Daddy's loving on the baby girl.
Butterball.
Butterball. So did you guys see, I have to tell you, I know this is horrible, but Sophia she's really a big size cat. And so she was sitting there. And my husband's like, she looks like a turkey. And so I said, a Butterball turkey. And ever since then, that's been her nickname, is Butterball. And she'll come running when you call out her nickname. It is so funny. And I know some of you are thinking we're so mean, but it's a cat, you know. She doesn't know any difference. But did you get... Sorry, I'm just laughing at myself. Did you guys see that there's actually a Butterball recall? So I told my husband, oh no, somebody may be coming to pick her up. 'Cause she's a butterball. So anyways, I thought it was funny. He laughed. She didn't pay any attention to us, you know. You know how cats are.
Are we done? Can I get
But
that
I thought it was
portion?
hilarious. Oh no, a Butterball Recall. But seriously guys, if you have Butterball turkey, there has been a recall on it. Oh. That's what my mind thinks of.
Okay. Are we done now? Are we done?
And you know how somebody said, you know, if I made somebody laugh today, my job here was done. And that's kind of how I live my life. I try to always make people laugh. Even myself. As crazy as I may sound. Okay, let's do that one. Just kind of looking to see what side I want. Let's see. Oh, wait. Okay. Let's do that side. For a minute, I thought it was the same paper. Okay. If you wanted to, you could pull these out and do the same thing to make a journal for yourself. You know, put some things like this. You know, do Miss Gail. I know I keep mentioning her name, but she's such a neat lady. But she uses books, 3-ring binders and stuff. So people who send her things that she wants to hold on to and remember, you know, like this is Jane Doe or whatever, she'll take pieces of whatever that person sends her to remember as her junk journal friend. And so she does pages in honor of her friends in these 3-ring binders. And I think that's really a cool idea too, you know. A good remembrance. And, you know, she'll put, if they write her a letter, she'll put in there. And, you know, she does a lot of craft with me's and stuff like that. And it's really fun because, you know, you just kind of, it's like you're crafting with a friend. That's how I always feel. And she is so funny. She cracks me up every time I watch her. Okay, so. But she's one of those who is not afraid to laugh at herself. And I think that's really important, you know, especially as a crafter, because, you know, you don't need to be that serious not to be able to laugh at yourself. You know, I just think, you know, just enjoy the process. If you mess up, laugh at yourself, figure out something else to do with that particular thing, and move on, you know. One of the girls, and I forget her name, but she says, you know, it's kind of the thing that she lives by is you get what you get and you don't get upset. And, you know, she was referring to mixed media, but I think that's true in any crafting project. You kind of, whatever you end up with is what, you know, you end up with, and it's not always a bad thing, you know. I try not to get too stressed. I try to figure out another way to make things work. And I think I do a lot of crafts where they say stuff like that, because I was just thinking, you know, when I knit and stuff, and I've heard several people say, you know, it's a chance, when you mess up, it's a chance for a design element. So one time I was making some like fingerless mittens, and I had put a rib, which a rib is kind of like a braid. I had knitted a braid wrong, just one area. So I went ahead when I made the next mitten, and it was way down. So what I did is I just totally made a new design element. So I had an opposite rib in the middle of these mittens, but they match, both of them match, so, you know, it was just a design element. Of course, the person person I gave it to made sure and pointed it out that I'd made a horrible mistake, but you know, I can't, you know, I can't judge somebody else's or expect somebody else how they're going to react to things. You know, some people are just like that. I thought they were still pretty. So, some people will notice every mistake. And I'll be like, no, it's just a design element. Okay, so we're getting there. I think we're going to cut these out. We're going to go ahead and finish cutting these out and do a little bit more here. And then we'll pick up on the cover probably tomorrow after it's good and dry. It's crazy how fast time flies when you're just having a fun, enjoyable, you know, conversation with yourself. I'm talking to you guys though. I'm not really just sitting here talking to myself. I don't know. I suppose if anybody came up the driveway or something, they'd be like, who is she talking to? Of course, Clint's right here, but still. Oh, things I go through. Huh? Yeah. So, that looks pretty good, guys. Oops. Jumped ahead of myself there. I still have 2 more. Was all proud. Yay, we're done. No, not yet. So, what else do you guys want to talk about? So, like I said, I'm going to do a farm journal starting a week from this Monday. And I will, you know, as I make the journal, I will, you know, pause because we didn't make a lot of tags yet. So there will be some tags, videos and stuff in there, and, you know, other things that I probably, I'm trying to have an issue. I don't know what to do. Okay. But I, you know, some other things we haven't touched on yet. But I really just, I think I need a break from stretching my brain. I don't know. Is that what you call it? But I just kind of need to use up some of my supplies and, you know, just kind of have a different creative outlet than to do another Ephemera Series. So I'm going to do that. Hopefully you guys will be interested in coming along for that. It's just going to be a farm journal, start to finish. So I'll show you how I cut apart the book, because I did find a book I want to use. So I'm going to cut apart the book, make a new spine for it, as well as choose my papers and things like that. If I choose a digital kit, you know, I'll share all of items like that. But I really need to make like a vegetable journal or like a vegetable garden journal, because I do want to I want to record our you know, we're fixing to put up a vegetable garden, and I want to record everything that we put in there, you know, whether it's how we make our raised beds or what we plant, what's successful, what trials and stuff we had, things like that. So I don't know if I will keep the farm journal or if I will put it in my Etsy shop. I haven't really gotten that far into it. I do use most of the journals that I keep. In fact, I've used all the ones I keep for certain things. I use them. So I know I do want to, you know, do a dream journal as well. Oh, I have just a long list right now of journals I want to make. So we'll see what we can come up with. Okay, last one, we're punching holes. If you do this, be sure and punch holes on the first side, or else it'll be hard to find them. Some things are simple, but you don't think about when you're doing your projects. You know what I mean? Okay, guys, and now I'm going to go ahead and ink blend around it. But first I have to find my ink blender. I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm just using some vintage photo ink. That's my favorite ink, and you know, I kind of want this to be my style, and I just like inking. You know, I like the look it gives. The kind of adds a little old feel to it. So I'm just going to ink around each side. And plus, you know, the paper, when you cut it, you have a white edge. So I'm doing that so that I don't have that white edge either. That. I know some of you guys really just like watching people ink up. Watching people ink up papers. It never bothers me, you know, whenever I'm watching people ink, I just kind of zone out maybe, and I kind of listen to what they're talking about. Here's Cubby. See, if you guys fast forwarded through this, you wouldn't have got to see him. Hi, Bubba. Say hi. Hi. Look up here. Look up here. Look. There's Cubster's face. You want? Sometimes if I put my hand out like this, hey, he'll reach up and snuggle. So then I'll move my hand to another part, and then he'll do the same thing. Goofball. He's helping Mama. He's helping Mama. He's not the biggest help. I'm still planning, you guys, I've talked about him before. He will sit in the chair, and we have like a, oh, wait. Hold on, Bubba. Good thing he's black. You can't tell that he laid in ink. Oh, it is Cubby and Mama time. Can you tell? Mama, I love you so much. I love you so much, Mama. You know, I'm glad I wasn't painting. So yeah, for all of you who wanted to see the cats, here you go. Here's one of them. He's like, you've been talking to yourself long enough, Mama. Come lay love on me, huh, Bubba? Huh. He's been loving on me pretty much today, and I think he's feeling okay. Sometimes when he doesn't feel good, he really needs Mama a lot, but I think he's okay. I don't think anything's bothering him. Yes, we talked. I was laughing because my husband, he'll have these conversations, and I'm thinking, who's he talking to? Because, you know, he's on call 24/7. So I think, you know, did somebody call him? You know, who's he talking to? And then I listen a little bit harder, and he's talking to the cat. Just having this long conversation. Did you really need to steal my chair? Do you really need to lay on my heating pad? Okay, well, I'll sit over here. We sit, and I do the same thing. So we sit and have long conversations with our cats. And what's funny is some of them will talk back. You're like, really? Is that necessary? And then they'll be like, meow. But Cubby is one of those who, you know, jumps across the kitchen on you, and you have to pay attention. Because he doesn't really meow, he chirps. And hopefully I can get that on video for you guys, because I do want to share that on my channel for my mother-in-law. She does watch my videos. And I would like to get like a compilation of the cats. So that is one of my goals, is to kind of show how silly they are. Because Grandma was here when they were babies, because you know we rescued them. And Grandma helped us bottle feed them. That has a little rip in there. But see, that doesn't bother me because I can fix it easily. And I'm just not going to let it upset me. You know, just... Yeah, he's asleep now. Right here. He's asleep. He's sound asleep. Yeah, so... He just wanted to be near Mama. I think I got them all. I can't really tell because he's laying on top of stuff. But I think we're going to end this video here. When we come back, I will put these, well, I will have my cover, and we'll work on the cover when I come back tomorrow. And hopefully we'll get quite a bit done. And, you know, if I don't quite get done, I might make a third video that will come out later in the week. Just on, you know, I don't want to miss any of my, my series videos. So if I feel like I need another video, I might just post like 2 videos on one day or something like that, just so you guys can see how it turned out. But we'll see how far we get tomorrow on the cover, see what else we need to do. And again, if you guys have not subscribed, be sure and hit that subscribe button. Click the bell. Again, I am putting out videos daily. And be sure and give this video a big thumbs up. It really helps out my channel. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we will see you in the next video. Bye! And there he is. Cubster.